Have you ever wondered how a small island nation like Britain managed to build the largest empire the world has ever seen? At its peak, the British Empire ruled over nearly a quarter of the Earth's land and population. But how did it all begin? Join me today as we explore the incredible rise and expansion of the British Empire. Our story starts in the late 1500s, during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. Inspired by Spanish and Portuguese explorers, England began its own voyages across the seas. Early explorers like Francis Drake and John Hawkins sailed to distant lands, seeking wealth and adventure. These early voyages laid the foundation for what would become a global empire. In the early 1600s, Britain established its first permanent colonies in North America. Settlements like Jamestown in Virginia and Plymouth in Massachusetts became thriving communities. By the mid-1700s, Britain had 13 prosperous colonies along America's east coast, stretching from Massachusetts down to Georgia. But Britain wasn't alone in its ambitions. Rivalries with France and Spain led to numerous conflicts. The 7 Years' War, fought from 1756 to 1763, was particularly significant. Britain's victory secured vast new territories in Canada from France and established dominance in India. The British Empire was rapidly becoming a global superpower. In India, Britain's expansion was driven by trade through the powerful East India Company. In 1757, Robert Clive led British forces to victory at the Battle of Plassey against local rulers. This victory allowed Britain to dominate Bengal, laying the groundwork for nearly 2 centuries of British rule in India. Meanwhile, on the other side of the globe, Captain James Cook explored Australia and New Zealand between 1768 and 1771. Cook claimed these lands for Britain, naming Eastern Australia New South Wales. Soon after, Britain established penal colonies there, sending convicts halfway around the world to build new societies. But not everything went smoothly for Britain. The American colonies grew frustrated with British taxation without representation. In 1775, tensions erupted into the American Revolution. By 1783, Britain had lost its 13 colonies. They became independent as the United States of America. Determined not to lose momentum after this setback, Britain turned its attention elsewhere. Africa, Asia, and Australasia became new frontiers for colonial expansion. Settlements in Australia expanded rapidly after 1788. In Africa, strategic outposts like Cape Town were captured from rival European powers. Amidst this expansion came moral debates at home. In 1807, after tireless campaigning by activists like William Wilberforce, Britain abolished its slave trade across all its territories, a major turning point that reshaped Britain's imperial identity. The early 1800s saw Britain's global power reach new heights after defeating Napoleon's France in the Napoleonic Wars, 1803-1815. With no serious rivals left at sea or on land, Britain entered an era known as Pax Britannica, the British peace becoming an unrivaled global power. By the early 19th century, Britain's empire spanned continents, from bustling cities in India to remote settlements in Australia, from Caribbean islands rich with sugar plantations to strategic ports in Africa and Asia. But how long could this dominance last? Join us next time as we explore how Britain's empire reached its peak and why it eventually declined. If you enjoyed this journey through history, please like this video and subscribe for part 2. Let me know your thoughts about Britain's imperial legacy in the comments below.